Hey, so it's been a little while since we gave you guys a review. So quite a lot has happened actually between our last review and now.
Yeah, we won't announce what it is yet, but I did come Will came down to Texas for a little bit, but we didn't film anything.
A reunion, let's see, it was 6 years in the making, I believe, because it was back when you were still at Landmark and I was at Gardner Webb. But yeah, it was a long time coming, and we were glad to see each other again.
Yes, it was great, but that's what we're talking about today.
Yes, maybe we could share that another time.
Yeah, because you know probably no time yet.
But anyways, we're gonna be talking about, eh, you know, hold on, I want to get a good leeway into this. So there's that moment where you feel nostalgic about something, and you're
Oh
thinking,
yeah,
"Wow, do I feel old?" Until you realize that a movie like Incredibles is now 20 years old this year.
and it is an incredible movie.
Yes, it's really, really good. We like it.
Yes.
But the basic premise of The Incredibles, like I think it's fair that whenever we do a review, we try to give a brief synopsis of what the plot is like.
Yeah.
So basically, Mr. Incredible marries another superhero, Elastigirl, and they start a family together. However, this is a world where superheroes are deemed illegal. But
Or they
then
become deemed illegal, like they weren't right away.
right. Until a mysterious organization hires Mr. Incredible for top secret missions, uh, leading for his whole family to be involved. And yeah, it's basically the whole premise.
Yeah, it's a classic fun. I borrowed my parents' copy of the DVD because they still have it from all those years ago.
Hmm.
And it says on the back, Indiana Jones, James Bond, and X-Men all rolled into one. Which
Really, Indiana Jones?
I guess kind of the going on the island exploring, I guess. But
Yeah,
that's what
I
it says in the box.
guess.
But still, I mean, all four franchises are great.
Right. And I guess a lot of people would like to joke around that this is the good Fantastic Four movie because we have
I
Mr.
mean,
Incredible. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it's true. It is a family of superheroes fighting crime.
Because we have Mr. Incredible, who is super strong.
Mhm.
We have Elastigirl, who is obviously is very elastic. She can stretch very far. We have Dash, who can run really fast, and we have Violet, who can turn invisible and summon force
And the
fields.
best,
And of course, the greatest character of them all, Jack Jack,
Jack Jack.
the baby.
Jack Jack is the best part of this and the sequel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
no. Just quickly on the sequel. What do you think of the sequel that came out years later?
it's good. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think it's as
good.
good as the original,
Oh yeah.
or as the first one.
I didn't care for the villain in that
Yeah,
one.
I feel like the villain in this in the first movie, Syndrome, was a lot better than the villain we got in the sequel.
Yeah. Though any problems I have with the villain are saved by Jack Jack.
Oh yeah,
Jack
uh,
Jack's arc in that sequel is hilarious.
oh yeah, especially when he goes toe to toe with a raccoon. I think everybody has seen that clip
I think
before.
I've seen that clip. Yeah, that is amazing animation. It is funny and great for storytelling. There's
Like
a web series I watched. I think I mentioned them before, Cinema Therapy,
yeah,
where they go in the psychology of characters, and they have a whole episode about how the Incredibles children are like told very naturally. I have to rewatch the episode of the series to remember exactly what they said, but they talked about how the way Jack Jack sees the crook on TV and then sees the mask on the raccoon, that is something that babies will naturally pick up on, apparently.
yeah, like and the funny part is you don't really need any dialogue to like what he was thinking at that time.
I know, just crook on TV, raccoon robbing the trash can.
He sees the raccoon, he has a mask just like the bandit did on TV. All of a sudden, he's trying to put two and two together.
Well, we need to watch the first one. We need to talk about the first one.
Yeah, we need to talk about the first one.
Um,
Yeah. So I think in terms of like superhero movies, even though this really isn't like based on a book or anything, or at least I'm pretty sure
I don't
it
think it is.
isn't. This was a superhero movie done right, but this was But also remember, this was also it's also came out the same year that Spider-Man 2 came out, and that had a lot of hype to it.
I love both movies.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Um, I think
Um, though if you had to pick one, which one would you choose?
probably Spider-Man 2. I think that one was the one I grew up with the most, I guess.
I know I saw Incredibles first
Right. Uh,
because my parents were always strict about the rating systems.
right, same here.
Yeah, so when they saw the PG-13, they're like, wait till he's older. So I never saw it
Yeah.
till much later.
Um, Let me think. I do love the dynamic between Mr. Incredible and his family. He really wants to provide a good life for him, but also when he wants to live the life he wants or that he once knew, like the glory days of where he actually could fight crime without having to worry about much of anything.
Yeah.
Um, and also we should also talk about Mr. Incredible's best friend in this movie, Lucius, or otherwise known as Frozone, played
Who
by the
is
legendary Samuel L.
Sam
Jackson,
Jackson?
who gives us quite possibly the greatest scene in the entire movie.
Honey, where's my
Yeah,
super
super
suit?
suit.
That is cool.
I think people quote that scene to almost no end.
Oh yeah. One thing I also want to add is and this is going off a bit of um the cinema therapy episode on The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Um, I saw this thing a while back where it pointed out that a lot of parental figures in media are like not would not be good parents in real life. Mrs. Incredible bucks that trend. She's a great mom.
Oh, she really is.
Yeah, she is and you can see it especially during the second half of the movie when she's having to care for Dash and Violet in such a dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
The second half of the movie she's paired with the two kids for most of that movie for a little chunk.
Yeah.
Um and you see her get frustrated, which is something parents do. They do get frustrated, but
Oh, like a lot of parents do.
oh yeah, and it's natural. And the way she talks to her daughter about her insecurities when they're in the cave is great.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also acts very level-headed, which is a really great parental trait. Um, uh-oh. Are you still there? So something happened on my computer. Are you
No, I'm
okay?
still here.
Yeah, sorry, just had a little hiccup on my computer. But we're good now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But where was I?
You were talking about like Elastigirl or Miss Incredible as a mom.
Right. And but I got to the part about her being level-headed, right?
I think so. Like she was talking to Violet in one scene.
Yeah, when she's outside the cave, she kind of comforts Violet about her insecurities.
Yeah.
But before that, when they're inside the cave and are have the fire, there's a moment where she gets a little frustrated with um um Dash and Violet. And she says they're like because they those two kids were taught to repress their powers and hide them.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's saying that they have to use them, which contradicts everything she taught them. And she's saying, don't listen to what I did say, listen to what I'm saying now.
Right.
Yeah. And that you see her get frustrated and she has to like take a deep breath right before she says that, which is great parenting. Like you are going to get frustrated. You're not going to know what to do all the time. But when you just relax, take a deep breath, think about what to say or do, and you'll know what you need to do.
Yeah, that's like I said, the dynamic between the whole family was like really good because they actually act like a real family.
Yeah. I
Like
will.
like Violet's going through the stuff that a lot of teen or adolescent girls go through, and Dash is like the typical younger brother. He's always a bit of a pain, but he's a good heart, but he has a good heart at times.
Yeah.
Well, not at times, but he's cocky, but he does have he does care about his family.
And what's amazing is that think about the what the actors are going through. They're not seeing each other. They're probably in like different rooms saying this dialogue into
Yeah,
the microphone. They are like not at like a dinner table. They're not at like a family gathering or anything. They are in a recording studio talking to a microphone with no one else in the room with them, and they sell.
Oh yeah.
that they are a family unit, which makes it all the more impressive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the early to mid 2000s, not to say everything after was bad, but I think that was like peak Pixar, like some of the best movies they've given us.
And they've still given us a lot of great movies before and after that time period as
Oh
well.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think some of their best does come from that era. Um, and even going back to Incredibles 2, they still feel like a family in that movie.
Oh yeah.
And I
And
think the actors for Violet and Dash do get switched out for that movie since they were I think the original actors were too old to do the part.
yeah.
But still the new actors do a great job.
Yeah, you almost couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah. I do think most of it is the direction.
Yeah, because of Brad Bird, who gave us a bunch of other stuff. Like he also directed some episodes of The Simpsons, which
Yeah.
you could really tell because that's a really believable family
I
as
did not
well.
know that he directed The Simpsons as well. That does
Yeah.
make a lot of sense.
And he also directed The Iron Giant, which is a gem of a movie if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, that is a good movie too, but yeah. And
But
is he, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's also the voice of Edna Mode in that movie, in The Incredibles, right?
yes, the lady who does the costumes for all the superheroes, who is another one of the best parts of the movie.
That character is great.
Like how she makes all these witty comments.
Darling.
Darling.
Darling. I love that character so much.
What do you
And
think?
she has a great design too.
Yeah. What do you think of the villain syndrome?
Um, it's Jason Ritter who does that voice, right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, the Chipmunks guy.
Yes.
Yes. Um, he's great.
Oh yeah, I think he's one of the best Pixar villains we've ever gotten.
Yeah. Yeah, he's up there. I mean, he has. It is also kind of ridiculous that he built this like whole high-tech lab to become a superhero of all these henchmen. Like, I love how ridiculous it is that he probably got this. How did he get this money?
It's
He's
like
probably better off
it's like
just selling all his tech.
it's like he probably could have done this another way, but he decided to go this route.
Yeah, I know.
It's over the top, but you can't help but love it.
Um,
Also, the cool thing is he's given in like a good backstory, and you like understand like
yeah.
why he's doing why he did what he did.
Also, he monologues too.
Oh yeah, they even reference that
Um,
in the movie. That's even
when I was in high school, we had a drama class. We had an assignment where we had to memorize a monologue from like a movie or show or just anything. And one of the girls in my class chose Syndrome's monologue.
yeah.
Yeah, I did not. I chose a shitty monologue. Pardon my French.
Um, I
Yeah.
think I think one of the main complaints people have about this movie, and I can kind of agree on this, is how it focuses a little too much on Mr. Incredible and not so much on his family, which they say they improved on a lot in the sequel because the family is more involved.
Which I agree there. Like, I think Elastigirl takes more center stage in the sequel.
Yeah, because I feel like they kind of switched the roles a little bit in the sequel because now it's Elastigirl who's uh, getting all more screen time, and it's the rest of the family that's kind of like
Mhm.
being not being pushed off to the side, but they're not getting as much attention that Elastigirl did.
Yeah, that's true. And though in the second half of that movie, Violet and Dash do take more center stage.
Yeah.
So if hypothetically, if we were to get an Incredibles 3, how would you play it with them? Like with the family?
Um, I would say Violet would be in college and Dash would be in high school.
We have Jack Jack. No, we can't have Jack Jack grow up.
No, you're right. We can't keep them young forever. Like, do not let them grow up at all.
The Incredibles 3 would have to be with,
Right after Incredibles 2, like how the first Incredibles ended.
yeah, they kind of have to do that. Like you cannot age those characters.
Yeah.
I think the idea is that it's supposed to be the 60s or 70s or something.
Really?
Yeah, I remember reading that somewhere. Because have you ever heard the Pixar theory?
I do know about a lot of Pixar theories, how all the movies are like connected in some way.
Yeah, most of the theories I've seen say that the Incredibles has to be set in like the 60s or 70s because it's some of the earliest signs of the technology.
Okay. I actually joked with one of my friends up here. It's like it's all setting up for the Pixar cinematic universe. I'm just waiting for there to be like an end credit scene and someone like Nick Fury comes out and says, "I want to talk to you about the Pixar initiative."
Oh, that would be no, Frozone would be the one to do that.
Frozen?
Frozone.
Oh, Frozone. Okay. Yeah.
Like, he
Yeah.
would be the leader of it all
It'd
just
be
because it
Samuel L.
is Sam Jackson.
Jackson.
That would be a that would be great. Um,
Uh, yeah,
I don't know how that would work because some of the Pixar films based on the theory are like set in different time periods and they're just like so far apart.
well, also like there were so many ones where it just looks like they're all connected in some way.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, and I know time travel kind of plays a role in some of the later ones because supposedly the monsters kind of the doors in Monsters Inc. were actually more like time machines and not to like other dimensions.
right.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one theory. This is shifting focus a little bit, but there was a theory that Carl and Ellie from Up are actually Riley from Inside Out and an uncle. Because if you look closely in Riley's memories, there's a memory of Carl and Ellie's wedding, and there's
Hmm.
another memory that has a picture of their house.
Yeah.
And also, and in finding Dory in a scene where there's a huge field trip, if you look in the background of the class, you could actually see Riley there.
Yeah. It makes sense.
But anyways, in conclusion, Incredibles is still really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, it's still one of our favorite. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies. I don't know about you, Jessup.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
No, but great family dynamic, a lot of fun action, some very clever comedy.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you need out of a movie?
no, this is a really good movie. If you haven't watched this movie, I don't believe you. You probably have seen this movie by now. If not, go ahead and watch it right now.
Speaking of family dynamics in superhero media,
Yeah,
our next review that I want to do,
you want to tell them?
let's just say we're going back to 1997.
We're doing a little bit of a time jump. I see.
Yes, we are.
All right. So until next time, you caught me monologuing. I don't know. That's
The
the
only
best
one
I
about
got.
here who knows how to be normal is Jack Jack, and he is even toilet trained.
Oh my goodness. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.